everyone. Welcome back to Boy Band Break. My name is Dianne.
My name is Sofia.
I'm Cinzia.
And we have a very special guest today. Her name is Lydia.
Thank you so much for having me. I am Lydia, and I'm from Dorkalicious. My handle on Twitter is _Dorkalicious, and I'm very happy to be here to share my guidance with you. I don't have much. You guys are more of the gurus than I am, but I am honored to be here anyway.
Yeah, happy to have you here.
Thanks, guys.
And she's my sister.
Yes, fun fact.
Don't
Lydia
tell the
is Cinzia's
stalkers.
sister.
Yay, Lydia.
Hooray.
Huzzah.
Okay, so on today's episode of your Boy Band Break, your time to listen about boy bands, I thought we would talk about K-pop. And I know in a previous episode we kind of discussed, are groups like BTS considered boy bands? Do they really count as boy bands and that kind of thing? So how can we determine that? Let's go through the history of K-pop. Let's talk about...
Okay. Are we doing J-pop too or just K-pop today?
I'll be upfront with everyone listening. Yes. I don't know a ton about any of these things. I actually had to go and do research, and I know that Sofia and Cinzia, who are looking at me very concerned right now, also don't know a ton. But
we know nothing.
We're all here to learn today. This is a learning experience.
Literally, the only K-pop band I know is BTS, and I know they've blown up on the scene and have a huge, crazy amount of followers online.
I know Girls' Generation. I don't know the boy ones. The boy ones are lovely, but I know the Girls' Generation. So and more J-pop because I'm more of an anime nerd.
Let's learn together. I want to share my knowledge with you guys.
Yes, please.
Please do.
So
Teach us, Dianne.
That's my job. What I did was, at the recommendation of Cinzia, I went on Netflix, and there is a show called Explained. And if you are interested in a variety of topics, this show, it's really interesting. It's like a 20-minute little segment, and they explain things to you that you want to know about.
Okay, I'm going to write that down so I can, when I go home, I'm going to watch it. Sounds very exciting. Okay, sorry, continue.
It was there's ones what's the meaning of life and stuff. It's kind of really interesting. I want to watch more of them. Anyways, they have one
Did they really solve what the meaning of life?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I know what it is. The meaning of life is to live.
Whoa! Mind equals blown.
Okay, sorry, it's called Explained.
Let's dive in, because I wrote a ton of notes about K-pop. There is a lot, and what I really want to say is that these K-pop bands are 100% boy bands. Oh yeah. Okay. So it really started. They say it started in 1992, which is way further back than I thought.
A year before the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, I know.
Very interesting.
So there was a talent type show where groups would go and audition and whatnot. And then there was a group called Sofia and Boys.
Never heard of them.
Oh, yeah, them.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
I don't even know if you pronounced that right, Dee.
Sorry, did we even say what K-pop is? That it's Korean pop?
Yeah.
Okay. And J-pop is Japanese
pop.
So this group was basically the first group that, ever.
Like the Beatles of their time?
Yeah, they got really, really popular. But the point was, before them, there was musical groups, but they all sang either patriotic songs or generic G-rated love songs, like "We're Holding Hands," that kind of stuff. Right?
Interesting. That's interesting.
These Sofia and Boys came in and they wanted to talk about other stuff.
Oh boy.
Sexy
times.
And they literally described them as the Korean New Kids on the Block.
Ooh, interesting.
They were literally described as Korean New Kids on the Block, which I thought was crazy.
Was there 5 of them?
There was only 3, I believe.
The dynamic's off.
Yeah. So.
Well, no, LFO. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Continue.
Plus, at this time in 1992, Backstreet Boys were formed in 1983, but
93.
Yeah. Isn't that what I said?
No, you said 83.
83. I was like,
I wasn't even alive back then, bro.
Okay, sorry. 93. That's what I meant to say. But the 5-member boy band hadn't really even.
popular.
Like, this wasn't even
Fair.
a thing yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, New Kids
All right.
had 5, but they were kind of in a league of their own.
True. At the time.
So these guys really like expanded culture. They became like huge.
Were they only big in Korea, or did they?
They were really only big in Korea, and they formed in 1992 and basically retired in 1996. So 4 years, and then they were done.
Were they teenagers?
They didn't say.
Okay.
I don't know. They looked young though when they
Is there
showed,
any like pictures? Are they
Was
like?
there a lot of albums?
Look it up.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Sorry, what is it called again?
Seotajian Boys. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this. I can't speak Korean.
How do you spell Seotajian Boys?
SEO and then TAJI.
Okay. And boys.
Yes.
Okay.
So was one of them Seotaji?
Aha.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, it was the 90s at the time, so.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Korean New Kids on the Block.
Okay. Fair enough.
Nice.
Okay. So then what happened after they retired was that there was a guy, Lee Soo-man, and he was like, wow, these guys were like crazy popular.
Is he like the Korean Lou?
He's the Korean Lou Pearl.
Wow.
Amazing.
Sorry, I didn't know.
He was like, I can make money off this. I'm going to like create these new bands and like manufacture them. And they literally like, so his first group was called HOT Candy, and they came out in 1996.
Hot candy.
Candy.
Did Korean Lou also have a blimp business?
Again, they did not mention that. I feel like
Did he wear a gorilla suit?
I'm sorry.
I feel like maybe he was a real estate guy. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, that's legitimate money. All right.
So they went through everything. They wanted to call them idol groups. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they were like, there has to be at least 5 members.
Yeah,
a lot of the groups have more now. But they were like, there has to be at least 5 members. They all have to have different roles. There has to be the singer. There has to be a good dancer. There has to be a rapper.
Nice.
Yes.
You need the formula.
Yes.
What is this man called again?
Lee Soo-man. So LeeSooman.
Lee Soo-man.
That's a pretty cool name, Lee Soo-man.
Okay. Let's see
And
here.
essentially now...
Okay, he doesn't look like Papa Lou. Yeah, it's like Asian
Less
guy.
creepy.
Okay.
All right, that's pretty cool.
He's just like a normal looking guy.
Nice guy.
I guess.
So
Did he also do special auditions?
I
don't
feel
know.
like again in this 20-minute snippet about
Sorry, go off
K-pop,
topic so much.
They didn't talk too much about this.
Fair enough. Okay.
So essentially now in Korea there's like 3 major companies.
Okay.
One run by this Lee Soo-man guy, one run by this Xiao Taji guy, and then like a third one who makes these K-pop groups.
Sorry, who's Xiao Taji?
Here's one from the first one.
Oh, that guy.
Taji and the
There you
boys.
go.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Okay.
Fabulous.
So basically, yeah, it has to. I wrote a note here that's like it's like the Avengers.
That's amazing.
Adventures of K-pop.
So they all have to come in and they all play their different roles.
I see. Okay,
And
yeah,
then
fair. Yeah.
that's what makes them like super groups. You know what I
Legit.
mean?
That's what makes a really good boy band. You need to have the
real.
roles, like Together, for example.
Oh God, here we go with Together. It's a fake band. Yeah.
But it was fun.
Maybe
It was
to
a fun
you. All right,
Okay,
continue.
sorry.
on.
Yeah.
Essentially, love is their biggest topic.
Obviously.
Love is the biggest topic
Pitter
of all
patter.
boy bands.
Yes.
Doki Doki. Heartbeat.
They all have to be like polite. You know, they're not supposed to be like rude and like I guess feuding with each other. Again, totally a boy band thing.
Well, Lou made people feud, but for money. But that's okay. Sorry, we should need to have a topic totally on Lou because he's like
Future episode.
Future
we'll
episode.
invite you back, Lydia,
Thank you,
and we'll
thank
just
you.
talk all about Lou Pearl.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
many good and terrible things about
Yeah,
that band.
yeah.
All right.
Why a lot of the group names are acronyms is because they want the groups to have global appeal. So they started realizing that fans in Europe were like picking up on these bands,
Yep.
even though they couldn't understand. And so they were like, well, if we make the group names acronyms, it's global appeal, right? Anyone can say BTS,
Yeah.
regardless of their language.
If you get picked up by Europe, man, that's like where that's like the petri
sweet
dish
spot.
Yeah.
of
It
like
is, yeah.
of like musician. What the heck is that? Continue, D. Sorry.
No,
No,
I
that's
want
true.
you
Yeah,
guys
for
to
sure.
comment.
Okay.
So another thing that I thought was interesting is, so they record their songs in Korean.
Ooh.
And then they record their songs in Chinese Mandarin.
Haha.
And then sometimes they add English words in there.
Yes.
So that
Interesting.
they can get so much more appeal.
That's genius.
Very nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's good. Yeah.
Because Chinese Mandarin is like the most popular language in the world. Like, not.
Yeah.
You would think it's English, but it's not.
No.
Yeah.
Technically, travel, I think, is Spanish, but there's so many Chinese people living in China, obviously. So that's a great idea. And a few English words thrown there.
Yeah.
Genius.
Very good.
So
Marketing.
smart.
Another genius thing that I think they do is that they try to mash up as many genres of music into each of their songs as they can. So you might have a song that has elements of pop, elements of hip hop, elements of EDM, elements
So
of
what's
rap.
EDM?
Like R&B.
It's electronic dance music.
EDM. Oh my God. Genius. Genius. Okay. Another
They put like
acronym.
R&B in there and
Yeah,
stuff.
as
like,
many things they
interesting.
can, rock,
Okay.
whatever. So I'm just like, these guys are like,
Chameleons.
they are like
Yeah.
New Pearlman, but like 20 times better.
Yeah. Wow. K-pop's
Amazing.
good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like if I might say, their fashion is top notch, and like they always look so polished. Like, because even like they wear makeup there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like men here, not so much, but like over there, it's just like
It's part of the
your
act.
appearance
Yeah.
is very important.
Yeah.
Well, and they were saying, because if you have a group with 8 members, you want each member to stand out. You
Yes.
don't want anyone to fade into the background.
No.
Right? So they try to give them all different looks so that even if this guy's not the lead singer and maybe he's not the best dancer and maybe he doesn't rap, but he has red hair, like
Oh,
fire
man.
engine red
Yep.
hair. So you notice it, your eye goes to him.
Yes.
You know, like they
Cool.
consider each individual. It's a really,
This is very fascinating.
really
It is.
manufactured,
Very.
but it's really
Well-oiled machine.
Totally.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like if I may interject, there's a group in Japan. It's called AKB48, and there's 48 members. It's a ladies,
Wow.
it's a lady group, right?
Crazy.
But like you said, they concentrate on the individual. So it's like even though there's 48 members, there's something that will appeal to every taste. Right, you got like the bad girl, you got like the school girl, you got the one with the glasses, you got like it's very important to hit on all those points because you're gonna find a market for that person,
for sure.
and then you're gonna make money, and that's no offense, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, for sure.
But also the music.
I mean, if you have a company backing you and putting your group together, their point is to make money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like your point as an artist is to make music, but like the people backing you want to make money. No offense.
No, it's
yeah,
okay.
You're saying no offense.
Well, I feel like I'm like ruining people's like what? They're in it for money? Like,
Well,
I
we
feel-
got to make a living somehow,
True,
right? So,
true,
yeah.
legit.
perspective.
And these are the people. So if you've seen any of the K-pop videos, they are like so well produced and so elaborate.
So colorful.
And it's these companies that's putting the money behind these
Yeah.
videos. Like back in the day when the Backstreet Boys spent $1 million, was it?
Yeah.
On Larger Than Life. That was like, whoa.
I think that was like $2 million actually.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
So wasteful. But like that's normal.
That's
yeah.
I've only seen a couple of BTS music videos and parts of it, and it's just so elaborate. Like, they're in the desert, they're fighting all these guys, all this stuff's breaking, exploding. I was like, what the hell is going on? This is a movie or is this a music video? Like, it's like, like the production quality is amazing.
But again, global appeal, right? If you can only listen to a song
Right.
and it's in a different language, you might not appreciate it that much. You might be like, okay, I like this beat, you know. But if you really like a video, you can have some context to the song, right? Oh,
He's
this
so
is
handsome.
well, that. And like this is the part where they're whatever in the desert. So like maybe they're talking about like they've been on a long journey for me. You can like make your own story
Right.
kind of thing.
Yes.
The last thing that they really talked about was the hardest market for these K-pop groups to break into was the US.
Always.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the hardest market for everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah, for everybody.
Backstreet had like Backstreet.
Yes.
We're American. And
Literally
break
had
into
to wait like 2 years before they became big. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really
Does
hard.
the U.S. have like CanCon laws like Canadians do?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a good question.
Their real thing was
I know
that,
they're
like,
very patriotic, so obviously.
But like I feel like a lot of artists come out of America, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't even know if they even need it. Because CanCon we need. Because we're like, please, we're desperate. Our people kind of suck, but they're kind of good. Can you pay you?
I love CanCon, and there are so many great Canadian artists. And I don't know if that's just because I work in radio and listen to it all the time.
You might be the only one, buddy. Sorry.
There are good Canadian artists.
And it always confuses me when I hear them on American radio stations, and I was just like,
Bieber, Drake.
But Bieber's not CanCon because he has American producers, so he doesn't
Some
count.
of his stuff is CanCon.
Which stuff is CanCon?
I don't know. I'm not looking into it.
Okay, I'm just saying that
Bryan Adams wasn't CanCon for the longest time because he was doing a lot of his stuff out of the States.
Right, exactly, right? So, I mean, like, I feel like our government forces us to listen to this music because it's from us. Like, we should.
As we should, because we are Canadian.
Totally get that. However, sometimes I feel like better quality music comes out of America because there's
more money over there for them.
So much more money, and you have New York, you have LA, you have like all these places and like we have Toronto and Vancouver. British Columbia. Like, you know what I mean? No one's going to Saskatchewan to like drop a mixtape. Not happening.
Right.
You know? So it's just like I feel like
I'll have none of it.
I don't even know that it exists.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. So I just
rant lady.
Anyway, just call me a rant lady. Rant lady.
No, this
is
you invited me to the show.
No, I really appreciate this, Lydia. Good job.
Thank you.
You know what? Just go to the Yukon and record your stuff. Okay?
What?
Oh yeah,
go to the
Yukon is
Yukon.
a great place to go.
Back to what Lydia was saying before, though.
Sorry. Yes.
People really break out of Europe because I feel like Europeans are more open to listening to songs in different languages.
Yes,
for sure. They listen to songs in English. They listen to songs in Spanish. They listen to songs in arguably
Italian,
French,
Croatian.
Well, I mean, like the population is so diverse there.
Exactly. So,
and then it gets fed over to Canada,
and then we trickle down.
And then we trickle
America.
down to the States.
Yes.
So, but the problem with the U.S. seems to be they're very closed off to songs that are not in English.
Yes.
You know, they were saying that Despacito was like the first non-English song to reach number one in like 20 years.
Psy.
Well, Psy changed everything.
Yes. Tell me about it.
So they were saying that and literally they talk about this where like people would ask Psy like, why do you think your song like broke through the barriers of the US? And he's like, I have no idea.
Because it's catchy.
You never know.
Oppa Gangnam Style.
And his video was iconic, and everybody was redoing the video.
The dance.
The thing.
Yes.
I think there was a dance.
Yes,
and
the dance.
One thing white people love, it's a dance that they can like follow along to.
This is true. Yes.
Totes. And it was easy enough to master.
It was fun for people to do in their offices and stuff. And
and there was like a challenge at one point. Like, you know, So I mean,
for sure,
when people can get behind something and get excited about it, it surpasses the barrier of language. Absolutely. Because music does surpass the barrier of language.
100%.
Like,
But that was 2012. So, and Despacito came out last year. So that's like 5 years of...
That's a lot. That's a dry spell.
Songs in any other language but English.
Yeah. See, I see what you're saying.
You know, so it's hard for them. So Psy really kind of like opened the door.
Yes.
But BTS is the first group that like is really becoming popular.
They broke Psy opened the door and they walked
and they
in.
like busted through.
Yeah.
They argue that it's because of social media.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh, that's definitely been a huge
thing,
impact.
I guess, for these K-pop groups to do is to be active on social media.
Yes,
for sure.
If not to offend you, I know that you work at a radio station. However, with I know, and we're actually in a radio station recording this podcast, so I know, I understand that it's probably not
just
my
say
place
what
to
you
say.
gotta say, bruh.
Okay. The regime of the radio industry telling us what we want to listen to is over because of social media, because of the internet. We have that power back, and we can be like, you know what? I don't want to listen to this. I want to listen to this. And then within like a few taps of a screen, I have the music that I want. No more do I have to wait for much music to receive my fax. Can you please play this music? And then, you know,
my faxes were always featured on that show because I don't think a lot of people had fax machines.
True. But it's just like you know what I mean? It's just like, maybe we'll get to it. Like, have you ever been to a club and you ask a DJ to play a song and he's like, yeah, I'll get to it. And like 20 songs later, he hasn't played it because lo and behold, maybe he didn't have that song and
my
he didn't want to
guys,
tell
you
you.
know what happened to me once when I was young?
What?
It was my birthday and
Yes.
we were at a nightclub.
Ooh.
And my friends were like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to like go ask the DJ to play Backstreet Boys. And I was like, he's not going to do it. And they're like, he'll do it. So they go up to the DJ and he was like, and they were like, could you play a Backstreet Boys song?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no problem. You know what? I'll do something even better for you.
Ooh.
And they're like, I don't know, maybe he's going to play 2. Like,
Ooh, yeah.
Please tell me he played in sync.
He played in sync and
Amazing.
I was literally in the crowd like, boo.
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
I could see that.
Hashtag worst birthday ever.
I could totally see that.
Like, I'll substitute one boy band for another. No big deal. It's like, it's a big deal.
It's a
Get
big
outta
deal.
here.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my God, it was
especially
so
back
funny.
then.
So just
And FYI, radio stations really don't have a lot of options in what they play.
okay.
Either,
Can you tell me though? Like, since you're
No.
an insider, no. Okay. Okay. So this is what I'm guessing
We're
because
sworn to secrecy here.
I know you are, but this is what I'm guessing. I'm guessing there's like one guy in like British Columbia who has like an Excel spreadsheet. He's like, you know what? This is what everyone's going to play this month. I don't care. And then everyone's like, yes, my greatness. And that's how I imagine the radio station to be.
Yeah, for sure. Just like that.
Like, is it? Oh, it's that guy who used to date Oprah. It's that man.
Stedman?
No, the one who's always saying stupid like, did you know that earwax is actually good for you? Did you
Dr.
put it in your
Oz?
face?
What are you talking
guy.
about?
Bob, right? Bob?
Okay, he dated
Bob?
Oprah.
I don't know.
No, John Tesh. Thank you. Is it John
John
Tesh?
Tesh dated Oprah?
Yes.
When?
What?
When
Yes, he
did
did. Guys,
Oh.
guys,
I thought
come
she
now.
always dated Stedman.
No,
Googling
Really?
this.
you.
You're
Yes.
getting off topic.
Okay, I'm
people.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Way off topic.
Sorry about
And
that.
That's the
we
cue
are,
to be done.
running out
Okay,
of
continue
time.
on.
Out of time. No, I really don't have much else to say
No,
in
keep
terms
going.
of notes. If you are interested in BTS, they are in Hamilton
I
this
know.
weekend for
That's
3
shocking.
sold out
What?
shows.
I am so impressed,
What?
by the way, because like literally it's LA, Texas, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, New Jersey, and then London, England. And I was
Wow,
just
that's
like,
crazy.
what?
Why did
3
you
shows
choose us?
in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
there
cheaper.
is-
That's why.
We
No.
discussed a little
We
bit.
discussed it a
What
bit.
do
We
you
looked
know?
at the calendar. There's a We Day concert in Toronto that week.
We Day.
And Bruno Mars.
And then
is in
Bruno
town.
Mars is in
Who's
town.
We Day?
Oh, it's that
Meet a
youth
Wee.
outreach thing.
It's like
Free
a
the Children. It's a Free the
community
Children
thing.
thing.
Free the children
Craig
sing songs.
Kielburger.
They have
sings
a big no, they don't have they rent out the area and they have all the kids come and they empower them with speakers and things. That has nothing to do with this. It's a great
But
organization.
essentially,
Oh.
they booked the Rogers Center for that
So-
weekend.
Oh.
Bruno Mars is at ACC.
Oh, okay, that's like the 2 major places. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
then
And
come on
because
down
people
to
will
Hamilton.
drive to Hamilton. Hamilton is excellent between Toronto and Buffalo.
Great
so
parking.
Cheap to park here and it's
We
fantastic.
have food. And
Hashtag Hamont. Let's do
and-
this.
There you go.
we have fancy restaurants too. So we're coming up.
So we're going to attempt to see if we can get tickets to BTS. It's entirely sold out, but if we can,
Scalpers.
You don't know.
we have no idea.
Or
We'll see how it is.
StubHub.
I feel like there's 3 dates. We have to get at least 1 pair.
Yeah.
If it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday, you could probably manage it. But like Friday, not happening.
Who knows? We'll see.
It's over a weekend. Well,
And if the BTS fans are anything like us, they're probably going to all 3 shows. So
Of course.
thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for taking a break with us. And we hope to see you next week.
Until next time.
thanks for listening.
Bye.